Yeah, I guess it's kind of like almost like a next man up type of thing where, if one guy's unavailable, you kind of got to step into that role. And obviously, I wasn't quite ahead of him yet, but I think whether him being here or not, my role is going to expand regardless. But, I just kind of have to take that step into, the bigger role, just like I wanted to. So I'm ready for that role.
Young players who talk about expanding their role and being able to do more. For you individually, what are some of the things you think you can bring or do better as the season progresses?
Yeah, definitely some things I can bring. I think obviously that power and explosiveness and, kind of helping us convert in short yardage situations, goal line situations. And then I got to work on open field, making guys miss in open field. I mean, that's something I should have scored on one of those runs, but something that I definitely need to work on, just kind of improving my all-around game, not just being a power runner, but also, being good in pass protection, pass catching, and just other things besides just running the ball.
What's been the toughest part of adjusting to offense, adjusting to play and running back?
I'd say the biggest adjustment is at first was probably just the overall speed of the game, and then learning the playbook. I mean, I feel like that's something every freshman kind of has to adjust to and pick it up kind of quickly. And I felt that I transitioned pretty well with that. Like it didn't take too long for me to kind of really get comfortable with it, but I'm still learning stuff. And now with a more expanded role, I kind of got to focus in on more of the details now and make sure I see the whole picture of the defense and everything like that.
Was it a deal where you wanted to play running back rather than defense, or the coaches came up to you and said, this is where we want to start you out at?
I kind of, after my spring season, I kind of had proposed the idea I was open to playing wherever, including offense, and I kind of just let them start.
But do you think the way you guys ran and the productivity you showed, that will be the standard from here on the rest
Absolutely. I think that we showed what we're capable of, and anything below that is not reaching that standard that we set. So I think that was huge confidence booster for not only us but our entire offense, the offensive line. And now Graham knows that he's got guys that are capable of pounding the rock and protecting as well. So I feel like that was a huge confidence booster for all of us, and anything below that's just not reaching the standard that we set.
What made you decide to start your college career now, to reclassify?
I just felt that I was ready. Honestly, I mean, no one really. For me personally, I wasn't really a big fan of high school. So get out of there as quickly as I could sounded good to me. So that was pretty much it.
How much of an adjustment has it been just the classroom, the non-football part of that? How much of that adjustment has that been for you?
I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, last year I took 8 or 9 classes, so the workload isn't very too much of a transition, but obviously like the level of studying and learning is a little different, but it hasn't been too bad overall.
But I imagine you had to take more coursework than a normal high school student last year to be able to reclassify. Is that correct? Or?
Yeah. So usually you take about 4 credits a semester. I think I took 7.5 both semesters.
You lose 3 running backs at the start of the season. Maybe from the outside, and raising around that. Do you have any concerns about it after the room, or how many guys are left in this room?
No. I mean, obviously the depth kind of has struggled with that, but I feel like all the guys in that room right now are capable of playing at a high level, so I'm not too worried about it.
People always comment on the fact that you're only 17. Not asking for your birth date, but how long before you become an adult? 18.
January.
So January.
Yeah, about 4 months.
You're going to go through your whole season as a 17.
Right.
Is there anyone in particular that has taken you under their wing that helped you out this freshman season?
Yeah, I feel like Graham Mertz has helped a lot. Kind of just with learning everything, especially my confidence. Kind of just telling me that it's going to come, and you're going to get more reps and more carries. And then, I mean, I've kind of grown close with the whole line. Obviously, the running back room. During the summer, it was kind of mostly the running backs. Isaac, Shipper, John Chanel, the guys that have been here longer that were helping with the playbook and stuff. So yeah, I'd say basically the whole offense.
The weight.
Sorry. When you play, I mean, does it ever dawn on you when you're at Camp Randall, like, well, I'm 17. Do you ever notice your age amongst the other guys? Or you just kind of feel like you flip right in?
No, I feel it's kind of just, play ball. It doesn't matter how much older these guys are. I know they're not stronger than me, so the age doesn't really play a factor in it.
The weight training. When did you start getting really, really active in the weight room? Start really dedicating yourself a little more to get to where you are, where you look like now.
Yeah, so I started lifting summer going into my freshman year, and then as I saw changes in my body and my development, started taking more and more serious over time. So I'd say about end of my freshman year is when I kind of really started to train hard. Like I was training hard the whole time, but that was really when I started to pick it up and train 2 times, 3 times a day.
What made you decide to kind of take that next step?
Strength is one of the biggest advantages you can have. So I just felt like as I kept getting stronger, and as long as I kept my speed and my agility, that it was just, it wasn't going to be fair eventually. And by my last high school season, I felt like I was bigger, stronger, but still faster and more agile than anybody else.
So what's your routine like in the off season in terms of working out?
So I guess after my season this spring, I moved down to Muskego, and I'd stayed. It was about a month between my season and when I got here, so I stayed down in Muskego with my trainer. I lived with him during the weeks, and then go home on the weekends. So I'd be down there Sunday through Friday, train twice a day, and then I'd have to do my schoolwork in between. So I train in the morning, and then later at night do my schoolwork in between. So usually 2 to 3 workouts a day in the off season.
And schoolwork, you mean university schoolwork at this point? You had graduated from high school?
I was just finishing out high school.
Still, your last high school classes you were taking?
Yeah, my whole year was virtual.
So your whole senior year was taken virtual?
Yeah.
How important? What do you learn from Chez, especially this one back here? He's wanting to take on this leadership role. You're still learning the position from a full skill set standpoint. So what have you learned the most from him?
I think with Chez, for me, it was kind of just, adapting to college. He had been in college for a couple of years already, so just kind of teaching me how, what tendencies of defenses and certain things to look for, and, things like pass protection and just coverage, everything about the defense. So I'd say overall, just kind of learning how to be a college running back.
How important has Chez been just with what's happened in the running back room the last 5-6 weeks? Just having a guy with veteran presence that's kind of been there before.
Yeah, it's been huge. He's been a huge leader for us. Obviously, with the start that we had this year, he's not used to that. Coming from Clemson, so that was a little different for him. Through all that, he still stayed positive and was a leader for us. So, yeah.